We'll wait for this thing to actually say we're live.
No, it says live on my end.
It says live, but I wait for the person count to come up. Even if it says 0, it doesn't actually show us. Although maybe that's changed. I know. Oh, there we go. Finally. Hello. Hello, everybody. I know I sound like shit. That is because immediately after getting over a sinus infection from over a week ago, my immune system dropped, and I got it the day after I got over it. Like,
hey,
my
Toasty.
voice was all better. Hi, Toasty. I'm talking. My voice was completely better, and then immediately it went back to being shit.
Yeah, she messages me this morning. Are we streaming tonight? I'm like, I'm not sure if we should. If you still sound like that.
She was like, "Are we not?" I'm like, "Yes, we're doing it." She tried to.
Hi, Moon.
Hi, Moon. She tried to protect me, but I do not care. Besides, it's not going to be a long stream anyway. Emo! I know a lot of my Gothics crossovers. You've been seeing me in the Gothics chat, but you haven't been seeing us. We've been busy. The two of us. Someone in this chat has been amassing a bit of a following.
There must be somebody else here.
Oh yeah, somebody with almost 5,000 followers now.
Don't know who she's talking about. No.
We're so proud of our little elder god. We're so proud. Also, if you're wondering why the lights aren't on, the cats fucked it all up while I was out of state.
Again?
Yes, and I'm too lazy to set it all back up right now. So there's no pretty lights right now. It's probably been destroyed, and I gotta get new ones anyway. Because story of my life. Story of my life. But I missed you guys too. You have no idea. This is my toxic red flag. The more stressed I am, the less I communicate. And I'm talking, and I think she even realizes it. We're talking, I speak in single sentences. I might respond after 2 or 3 days, if I respond at all. And a lot went down, including, I don't even know if Horror knows, I'm pretty sure you did, our friends at Reed Street Soap. I told you guys a couple of months ago, a friend of mine lost their elderly dog. Well, it was Reed Street Soap. She had him for 16 years. And at my encouragement, she went and she fostered and immediately failed a family of dogs. 3 puppies at once. Don't worry, I already went over all the risks and fostered the mother. And all 3 puppies contracted parvo, which a lot of you know, you saw it in my stories. I lost, by the way, 30 followers from that. Yep.
People are weird.
Almost as many as the people that were mad at me about Trump.
So 30 people because you support Trump and 30 people because you dared to want to save puppies.
Well, I'm talking in terms of expediency.
Oh, all right.
Within an hour of posting the Trump thing, I lost 30. Within 2 hours of posting the puppy thing, I lost 30. The Trump, I lost over 200.
Oh, okay.
But when I tell you it was immediate from my posting, I saw the drop. Immediate 20 right off the bat. And I was like, there is never going to be a day you are going to make me feel bad for helping one of my friends who is helping me release a custom soap line, mind you. The audacity of this bitch. Thank you. There is never going to be a day where you're all going to make me feel bad for helping my friend with her new puppies, who, by the way, are doing fantastic now. Thank you, Natanya. Those puppies are doing amazing. Esteban, I'm glad you're
Hey, Esteban.
And then, as you guys know, Helene came through. And, oh, God, I've hit the ginger part of this. Ugh. Ugh. Ugh.
Too spicy for her, I bet.
Ah! I thought I got past it.
Nope.
Ah! And you see it works, but I don't care. Starman made me take it.
Mm.
The Manuka honey with ginger in the middle. He loves it. This is his pride. I hate it. But he said I had to take one. So I did. Now, anyways. And then what I thought was a very good joke, most of you missed. As you see, I'm finally almost fully healed. No, I don't use Ginger Moon. Not usually.
No, it's too spicy.
This one, every time someone meets me in person, they realize just how weak I am. Because I will show them in real time something they're eating, and they'll be like, there's no spice. And I'm like dying on the inside. But
It had black pepper. It was black pepper.
Really spicy. So, if you missed it, the same night I got that sinus infection I told you about while I was out running errands, on the way home. If you haven't seen the videos, Starman and I are driving home. And as we're driving home, mind you, there was many cars on the road. We happened to be the car this cat picked to run out in front of. By the grace of God, he only broke his leg. I have not gone back to their house to check on them, but long story short, Starman believed we had killed it. He did not want me to see it because this cat looked a lot like Sinbad. And I said, I don't care, go check. So I went and checked, cat's alive, brings it back to me, and this is where I was a dumbass.
Hey, Metastep.
Hi, Metastep. I took the cat because I'm in the car. It was very long. I was already feeling the effects of the marijuana I had secondhand inhaled. And I have tried that little fox. The local honey works best, but I try not to have too much of it because I don't want to have a lot of sugar. So I take the cat through the window. Again, I'm in a closed-in space. I'm not being smart here to begin with. And whenever I'm in a car, my spatial awareness isn't as strong. And I think I was trying to turn his body, and I put this finger directly in this fucking cat's mouth. And he bit me so hard and so quick, I did not even feel it. He got me right here and right there. And then I noticed a pressure feeling. And I went, oh no. And then the pain started. And I did not yank, but I did go, fuck. And I'm telling you, I was sprouting like a stuck pig. There was blood everywhere. The cat shitting in the car. He's hissing. He's growling. My husband's shouting, are you okay? I still can't feel the tip of my finger. As we're sitting there, we, through a series of events, discover the owner to this cat. What? Put them in the crate, then they're done for the night. No, I'm on live, love.
Bless you.
And this woman is not adept. You know, there is a difference between being a cat person and being a catly. Can I feel the tip? You might be able to, I can't. I can't with you, Faye Queen. By the way, hi, babe. She was terrified of this cat. Turns out she has close to 20 semi-ferals that she lets just roam around the road. This is a road where people do up to 70 miles an hour. Okay, let's just get that out the way. As she leans in, she goes, spice! And I went, of course. And so the joke I said, I told you all I can't handle spicy things. And none of you found it as funny as I did, and I'm very mad at you all for it. I thought that was brilliant.
Of course you did.
And so, shut up. And hello, Hunty, bring back the art stream or I riot. Then getting to that, baby. That will come later. But, so that was just amongst the numerous things that have happened to me. But I mentioned to many of you, I'm going to be changing the channel. And part of that is subjects. And one of the subjects I was going to bring up kind of fell into my lap while I've been recovering and has deeply pissed me off. And so I wanted to discuss it with one of the most knowledgeable animal people I know. So, Horror, would you like to start us off, or would you like me to show you the video first and foremost?
It's usually easier if I see the video first.
Oh my God.
'Cause right now it's like, I don't know.
Well, I'm going to show you guys. Because when I tell you, this has been the most insanely stupid argument I've ever been in online with my fellow Republicans. It is the most insane. Why are you causing a problem with your sister, sir? Can I ask you that? Can I ask you that? Because you're causing me problems. Out here making your sister growl. So, I'm going to get to it. I have left numerous messages on this video. Oh, Faye. Thank you, honey.
No.
See, I told you I needed this week. I needed all my peoples. Recenter myself. So, I'm going to show you guys all this video. And I want you to listen to it. And you all tell me what you think. And I'm going to see if you all agree with me. Hope you do. But we'll see.
Can I get up? Crackle. Focus. Please don't do that. She is a working service dog. Distracting a service dog is a class 2 misdemeanor in this state. Focus.
Chew my ass.
Yeah, well, she's currently working, and distracting her is a class 2 misdemeanor. Focus. 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 Good. Oh, I hate advocating on the floor until she tells me I can get up.
Now, from that short clip, Horror, what did you glean from that?
A number of things. First, for the most part, I'm kind of wondering if she was about to have some kind of attack. Why was she setting up her camera? But that's me. Secondly, there appeared to be somebody in the background distracting her dog, which she did specify it was a service dog, not an emotional support animal, which are two very different things. And she specified the fact that the dog was working, which is kind of an important classification. I don't know that bringing up the fact that it's class 2 felony is particularly the most important thing.
Metastep, by not even realizing it, has made the points I'm going to be making.
She has hair? Okay.
Metastep, you are playing right into my trap. Thank you. Anyways, continue.
He's good at that. No. But the one thing I did catch is at the end is where she started to shiver and then looked at the camera and said, "I hate performing advocacy."
Now, because I did not want to assume, I found this girl's TikTok where she has a video stating that the reason that the dog does this is she does have panic attacks, but they are not panic attacks in the traditional sense. And what that means is panic attacks are a blanket statement. Okay? Panic attacks can mean a form of cardiac arrest. They can mean a form of mental shutdown. They can mean a form of emotional breakdown. There are multiple forms. And the ones that form in cardiac can cause you to pass out. We're talking, you don't know your heart is spiking or dropping. And so what would happen to this girl, who admittedly is a blue hair and a lib, she believes she's a he, they, whatever, okay? I don't give a shit about any of that, though. Because the dog is trained to tell her heart rate is causing issues. Even if she thinks her heart's okay, the dog will know otherwise. So the dog has to focus on her heart rate to tell her when it's okay to get up. The first point you made that a lot of people tried to argue is, hey, I have anxiety. In the middle of a panic attack, I never would have set up a camera. Congratulations. This is not the same thing as an anxiety attack. The dog signaled her, made her sit down. Sonny, for fuck's sake, dude. The dog signaled her, got her to sit down fast enough. So she had the wherewithal because she is self-training her dog, which a lot of folks don't know can be done.
I think part of my problem with that, though, is yes, the dog may have signaled her before she started having an actual attack, and she may be self-training her dog. I do not understand the purpose of pulling out a phone, setting it up, and filming yourself.
That's what I was getting to. When you do it through a program, they want you to record it. So you can show the trainer, you can show your doctor, and so you can review what you're doing. So if you have screwed something up, if something has gone wrong, or if you have to refine it, that's how you can. You don't have to do it every time. But a lot of times if you're working with a company, and I looked about this because not only have my nieces and nephews looked into getting their own service animals, my deceased brother was looking into it. And the thing is, a lot of folks were saying, well, service animals never need to be treated. Yes, they do.
How do you think you train them?
Once they're trained, they shouldn't be getting treats. Have you ever seen a canine or a bomb sniffing dog? They get treats while they're working. And once they finish the job, they get toys. See, and Netta, no offense, but you are the person I've been arguing with all day. Because I think you need to understand is that she's not the only person that does this. A lot of people who have medical dogs do this. This is very common because you have to understand a lot of people have to do what she's doing, and it helps them to see what she's experienced. Because at the end of the day, here's the thing. You are entitled to someone else's dog. We have said this numerous times. If you're in the middle of Walmart, why the fuck do you need to touch someone's dog? Especially if it says service animal. And then the owner specifically says, this is a working dog. Because what you don't realize what the guy did, while she's trying to get the dog to focus, he imitated the click she was doing. He went, and the dog turned. And the thing is, that mentality, the mentality of, well, she's just being dramatic. Are you going to take that as someone has seizures? If someone's a diabetic? If someone's blind?
I think recording it and posting it on the internet, while yes, it can help people, other people, is very performative. However, these are two separate issues. You do have the issue of that, but on top of it, you do have the issue of the other guy who is distracting her dog without permission. I wouldn't say she's in the wrong. I wouldn't say what she's doing is wrong. She's not doing anything
Her entire
wrong.
channel is about training a
Fine. Even if she's just doing it for attention, it doesn't matter. That's not wrong. Realistically, what we're doing right now is for attention.
Right.
So are we
Anytime
wrong?
you're
Are we
online.
doing something wrong? So, I mean, it's just how it goes. If you're putting stuff on the internet, you're probably doing it for attention. Much as I don't normally consider myself an attention hungry person. I do things on the internet without them getting attention. That kind of is pointless.
And a lot of people,
So,
when I tell you the issue that I have is, and Meta, again, you know we love you, and you know that I love you, but I have been literally posting facts because everyone said that's not a real service dog. None of that's real. It's an emotional support dog. I posted not only the facts about her channel, because she has a whole video about it. A whole video that when she passes out, number one, you guys need to understand something. And I have a very personal experience about it. I know I get emotional over him, but I miss my brother every day. A seizure is what killed him. And he didn't get a support dog because of people like that. Because he didn't want to look like he was attention seeking. He didn't want to seem like he was weak and unable to cope on his own. I argued with him. I fought him tooth and nail. If he had that dog, he might be alive today. That's first of all. Second of all, do you understand what it means to collapse from passing out unexpectedly or from a seizure? Because I do. He severed parts of his tongue. He lost pieces of his teeth. He cracked his skull open. He busted his lip. He broke bones. He would bleed for hours. He crashed cars. This isn't I want attention. This is life or death for some people. And it very much pissed me off today to see that. I have panic attacks too. Panic attacks and cardiac arrest panic attacks are two different things. I don't pass out when I have panic attacks. This girl does. When she is walking without notice, she could pass out. And we are not just talking like she might get a little dizzy. We're talking she fully passes out. And that's fine, Meta. If you're saying that, that's a different story entirely. Everyone else was. And that's what I've been. And a lot of people, Cameron Boyce, died from a seizure. And the thing is, a lot of people are laughing at me or trying to make fun of me when I literally posted the facts about a service animal, about training. One guy tried to say to me, he said he worked for this dog training facility. Okay? This was hilarious. He said he worked for a dog training facility in Texas, and that's how he knew I was wrong. Because I said people can self-train through a program. Because I know for a fact you can. Because getting a service dog, do you guys know how much it costs?
Tens of thousands of dollars sometimes.
Yeah, it starts at $25,000. Starts if you get that dog fully trained, okay? But if you do it yourself, we're talking less than $1,000 because you put in all the hard work. But your dog still has to pass tests. Your dog still has to get evaluated and pass training and do all these things, okay? So there's a massive difference. We're talking the price of a home difference between you getting a dog already trained and you doing it. These people couldn't grasp this concept. And this man told me no one ever sells trains. I went to the company website of the place he supposedly worked for. Self-training programs are on the website. You can't write this. And that's how I know they're all bullshitting. Everyone in that comment section was bullshitting. They didn't know what they were fucking talking about. They saw a liberal. They saw a blue hair. And that's all they needed to see. Nothing else mattered at that point. And I said, I thought we were the side of facts and reason. I thought we were the side of facts over feelings. All of you were in your feelings. Half of them were going, like, no offense, what Horror said, well, why is she have the camera out? Because she's in a program. She's encouraged when she's recording, when she's Signal for an episode, record when you can. I've seen it numerous times with people that have seizures, with people that have diabetes, with people that are blind, all different things. Right, Faye Queen? And you all know I've had rainbow hair.
Yeah, so I.
Exactly. So the thing is, not all blue hair. Thank you, Black Cats. And so again, this is my point. I literally had them sitting there saying, I don't know where it is, Faye Queen. It's probably too high up, babe. I had people saying, I must be her. Oh, I'm clearly a LGBT liberal. No, I can be who I am and sip your tea. Ew, fine. It's not tea, it's water. You all know better.
You should probably be having some tea, though.
I'll be peeing all night. No, thank you. I'm working tomorrow. But you have heard it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Smokey.
And that's my thing. I said, everyone kept asking, why are you riding or dying for it? Because you're all being fucking idiots. Because none of you know what you're talking about. And they said, oh, you're getting dragged. No, you all just look like retards, and I'm happening to educate you.
Like, I mean, here's one of those things I don't understand. Oh, you're getting dragged in the comments. Okay, so you people disagree with me. That's supposed to do what? Change my mind?
Like, seriously. I don't think this girl put the threat with the misdemeanor. Well, I mean, she is right. The problem is that it is technically considered tampering with medical equipment. In most states, it is considered that, because if she happens to pass out, which she was in the middle of, don't say, hold on. The reason she had the wherewithal is because before anything could happen, the dog signaled her to sit down, right? So she wasn't going to pass out. She has to wait till the dog says she can stand up. Well, if the dog missignals her because it got distracted for too long, it didn't notice. So she stands up and then happens to pass out and hit her head on something, get physical damage. He can be liable for it because he tampered with her medical equipment. And a lot of these types of videos have recordings that start way before the incident. Yeah, exactly. And you could tell because she cut it from where everything was because somebody had asked her why she was on the floor. And a lot of these people, hi, Christian.
Hi, Christian.
A lot of these people, like if you noticed, she was in the adult diapers section. Now, silly as it sounds, there's a reason she chose that. It's one of the least passed by areas in most markets. She chose a quiet corner where people are not going to be. So she's not disturbing anybody. And if you watch a lot of her videos, that's what she does. She tries to find the closest quiet area to sit down. She doesn't sit in the middle of an aisle. She doesn't find a very wide open space. She tries to find a space where she's out of people's way. And I don't disagree, Metastep. I don't disagree that there can be. I think you're right, and I think they might be right too. I don't think they're right because the problem is what they're saying is the dog is not a medical dog. They're saying that she doesn't have any problems, that she's making it all up. They're saying that it's an emotional support animal. And when I tried to explain to them it's not, they said I was wrong. Even though she has a whole video explaining that when she passes out, it can be from seconds to hours, and she doesn't know. And the dog is trained to help her with that. They're saying it's not real.
I think the difference here, Metastep, is you're thinking that they're thinking the same way you basically are, in that, she's just doing it for attention. And as I've already said, she is doing it for attention. Now, whether or not she's doing it the same way we are or not, it's still, the same thing. We're obviously not looking for attention in terms of, we're just not looking for the same type of attention. Let's put it that way. But realistically, to go on and say that she isn't training her dog, or that her dog isn't an actual service animal, or that to deny the fact that you can in fact self-train your dog would be an incorrect assertion. Whether or not she's doing it for attention at that stage is beside the point. Realistically, if you are approaching somebody who has a dog like that and you start distracting their dog and they post you on the internet, you're an asshole. Doesn't matter if they're looking for attention from it or not. You're still an asshole. But I think that's the part that they're focusing on, the idea that she's getting attention from it, as opposed to focusing on the fact that she is actually calling attention. Whether or not I agree with the whole, the second time, like the first time someone would distract the dog, I don't think I'd necessarily bust out the whole this is a misdemeanor or whatever thing. The second time I definitely would, because at that point, I've told you once. The second time, yeah, I'm going to start informing you that if you continue to do this, there will be legal repercussions. Because honestly, there should be. And
that's the thing. The difference is Metastep is logical and listening to the facts.
Right.
Because they're not. And no, I think it's most likely a service animal and she's in the right for correcting the man. Exactly. And here's the problem. I said the mentality in this comment section is dangerous. And everyone's like, oh, you got to toughen up. You don't understand. If you start saying, well, she doesn't look sick. Most people, right. Most people who need medical dogs don't look sick. My brother didn't look sick. Diabetic people don't walk around with a giant neon sign saying, I have blood sugar issues. People with epilepsy don't walk around saying, I have seizures. It doesn't work that way. You can't just see. Not every person that needs a service animal is blind and has a stick. Like it's this is the biggest problem that I had, because if you think, because all of them are saying she was wrong for getting mad at him at all. Excuse the fuck out of all of you. You're the same people that would encourage your 3-year-old to march up to the doggy, not asking if it's okay. And then when your kid gets bit, you blame the dog. That's the problem. You are not entitled to someone's animal that is very clearly at least semi-trained. And that was the thing. They were all going, no, she's clearly just a pansy who can't handle being out in public. She's a weak bitch, da-da-da-da-da. Oh, she's a they, them, da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, there's literally no proof of that. You have no proof. I, on the other end, do. She's literally shown that she's working with the program. She's got an entire channel on it. And the thing is, it really floored me that everyone felt entitled, if they see the doggy, they've got to pet it. As Pet the Fluffy Thing representative of America. If I can have the wherewithal to be like, I don't need to look at that dog or touch it. Why can you not? And then if you didn't hear what he said, oh, you don't need to be chewing my ass out. She goes, well, I told you it's a service dog. Oh, well, you have at it then. The man was mad he got corrected when he had already asked her why she was on the floor to begin with. He asked her why she was down there. He saw she was saying, focus, and was trying to take the dog's focus away from her. And this is where I'm not saying none of you understand that, but the entire comment section was complimenting him, saying she overreacted to him and that she should have just chilled out because it was no big deal. But again, whether people like it or not, that is the difference between life and death for these people. Because, yeah, theoretically, passing out can't kill you. But what if she's on a hike? What if she's deciding to try to push herself to be a little healthier? And she's hiking. And the dog gets distracted on the hike. And she falls off a cliff. I know it's extreme. But that's shit that can happen. What if she's walking through a warehouse or anything of the sort. And she falls and hits her head on a metal shelf, something that could kill any of us. These are the problems that I was having with it. And at the end of the day, it really bothered me that everyone was more concerned that she yelled at the old man who knowingly distracted the dog than they are at what he did. It's just ridiculous. And someone said, well, then why is she even out in public? Because she's doing this to get some semblance of reality. Because she has videos where the dog signaled she can't even get out of bed because her heart rate was so bad. So she would have to stay in her house, in her bed, because to stand up and get out of bed was a little too dangerous for her that day. I don't think it's a bad thing to say, I'm going to take control of this medical issue that I don't know when is going to spring up. I'm going to get this dog. I'm going to train this dog. And so that way I know when I'm out in public, I'm taken care of. Yeah, right. What if she goes out by herself? She can't even go for a walk on her own. She has to have that dog with her. I don't deny that her ideologies and her politics are bullshit. Have at it. Attack that. But again, what made me mad is we're supposed to be the people of reason. We're supposed to be logistical. We're supposed to be facts over feelings. And everything about that comment section was feelings.
I think you're leaving out a key point, though. You're also supposed to be compassionate. And they weren't actually showing compassion.
At all.
They saw someone that obviously has a physical, that shows signs. I mean, from that video, you couldn't necessarily say right off a bat with that what her actual ideology is. You can make some reasonably good assumptions. You can. But you can't guarantee that you're right until you go and look at the rest of her stuff. You can't. And to take that picture, take that image right there, make all the assumptions in the world and decide automatically based on her hair color and tone of voice that she must be in the absolute wrong and the worst kind of person that you can project those things onto is wrong.
This is why she's my friend. This is why she's my friend. Because she's right. That's it. There's nothing else for me to add to that because that's what I was saying. Like, and as a matter of fact, I found, because Fox asked. Now, again, her name, I believe, is Triangle. So, yeah, her pronouns are he, him, his. I don't like the bitch. I don't agree.
I can't say if I like her or dislike her. I would say I probably don't want to hang out with her.
No, that's for sure. Are you covering? I will be, but that's going to be on my own live stream, Christian. I'm going to be doing one this week at some point. But I'm going to hold on. Let me put up the volume so I can have you guys hear this part.
This is what happens when I am in a medical episode. I can pass out, and my dog is trained to try to keep me conscious until the end of the episode. If a person were to distract her while we are down, she may miss the ability to keep me awake, in which I can faint and be out for a few seconds to a long period of time. The same thing can happen if she is distracted while we are standing up, cause it can cause her to miss an alert. If she misses an alert, I may not have enough time to get to a safe place to sit down and can make it so I pass out and hit my head on the floor, which would result in an emergency room trip and a hefty bill. The video you were calling me a Karen about, I educated a person who distracted her while we were down. It may have been a psychiatric episode and not a medical episode. However, me telling him not to and telling him it is illegal may save other handlers from the trouble of their dogs being distracted by this guy. How I responded was minor compared to what could have happened if the circumstances were different. Not to mention distracting my working dog while she is working can also cause a panic attack so severe it could land me in the hospital due to hyperventilating and loss of oxygen. Service dog handlers are not Karens by educating uneducated people on the laws of distracting our medical equipment. Have the day you deserve. This is what happens.
I think
like half the date. Say that to people sometimes.
I don't even normally like that phrase, but you know what? Where is she wrong? I feel like that video explains everything. And that was a video I was referencing to everyone in the chat. None of them cared. None of them. None of them even took the time to look her up. And it's just like, again, you don't have to like anything else about her.
You don't have to like her at all.
Right.
Her dog was pretty, though.
Oh, yeah, Freckles is cute. But what you should care about is right and wrong. And, you know, I said it to someone, and this might piss off a couple people in chat. I said,
Metastep, this isn't something you get better from exposure therapy about. If I have a supraventricular tachycardia. My heart could at any moment decide to shoot up to 200 something beats per minute. Now, I'm lucky it doesn't cause me to pass out. I just get lightheaded and kind of dizzy and tired, like extremely fucking tired out of the blue. There is no amount of exposure therapy or anything else that is ever going to fix that.
exactly.
And that's her problem, is she's got a thing that she cannot physically or mentally control.
And that's what everyone that, because like the problem is there was so many people going, well, I've had anxiety and I learned to take it by, and I'm like, congratulations, your anxiety didn't cause you to pass out. They're not the same thing. This isn't something where you can be like, take them up by your bootstraps, toughen up, buttercup. This isn't how it works.
I understand you're not talking about me, Metastep. I just mean for her case. Because hers also isn't just anxiety. Hers is something else beyond anxiety or just panic.
Exactly. And the problem is it's a blanket term. I found that out today. I didn't even know. I did not realize. But the first thing, because again, anyone with two brain cells that can rub together at room temperature should be able to understand that if the girl can't stand up, this sounds like a blood pressure problem. Has everyone in that chat
Seriously, what is she supposed to do? Live in her house for the rest of her life?
Right. And here's the problem. Anyone that has worked at a single job has taken a safety course. Everyone. Because every single job I've worked at, from selling mattresses to flipping burgers, has been the same thing. They give you the same stupid fucking course. And all of them in the safety course tell you if someone is having a heart problem, cardiac issue, blood pressure issue, they are to remain seated because it regulates the heart and it will bring their blood pressure back down to normal levels. This, I thought, was common sense. And again, this is the problem. I'm just trolling. I can't stand your ass. I can't stand your ass. And this is the problem I was having, because it's like these people were like, she needs to toughen up. Oh, she's weak. I want you guys to go ahead, find the video. It's on the woke. Let me see. On the Woke Mind Virus on Instagram. Let me see if I can share it to you all. Go ahead and see just how much I have been absolutely educating these people. And they're too fucking stupid.
You can't teach people who don't want to learn.
This is a problem, and it's true. Because the thing is, they're literally not smart enough to understand what I was talking about.
I wouldn't say that. I would say they are probably smart enough to know, if they wanted to learn what you were talking about, they're probably intelligent enough to manage it. The problem is they don't want to. They want their sense of superiority.
That's very
and
true.
They want to, it's no different in things like this. It is no different than the left. They want to have that virtue, that feeling of I'm better than this person because of XYZ. So
I will hurt you, sir. I will tell you, it's like you hit the nail on the head. I said it to them earlier. I said, you all are no different than me arguing with a liberal about abortion rights. I said, you all sound exactly the same. When I tell a woman, you know what the best way to prevent an abortion is? Keep your legs closed. And they get mad at me. because it's called logic. You don't have to like what I'm saying. It doesn't mean I'm wrong. It just means you don't like what I'm saying. Simple as. Simple as. And you were so spot on. They wanted to feel superior to her. Because, and that's what made me so mad. These were all supposed fellow Christians. And they could not wait, as I believe it was Tony that said, to dehumanize her, to make her less than. They did not care about anything else. Her medical issues must not exist. Purely, those comments are diabolical. Yes, I want you guys to just go look at the comments, because I wouldn't mind if she was in there and her dog was unruly, excitable, dancing around, looking at other people. This
Peeing
dog
on things.
peeing on things. This dog
Yes,
was
my dog,
sitting
yeah.
and focused, like direct. That's a dog in training. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out.
No,
I'm
it'll
sure
just take someone willing to pay attention.
what was me? I learned about safe sex and just physically unable to practice safe sex. Like, damn, I tried and failed. But no, I had to keep trying, I guess. No. That's something to my job, obvious lap dog. And there was nothing, I hate that part. The woke right, as Hotep Jesus calls them. And I will say this, the closer we get to the election, the worse they're getting.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot tell you the amount of people I've gotten in several arguments over the last few weeks on Twitter, because in stress, I don't normally talk to the people that are important. I instead will get
Stresses herself out more by arguing with idiots on the internet.
that. It actually makes me happy, but it's it's really bad. It's a toxic trait, but I will talk about things in a logistical way, and it always ends up happening. It's happened so many times. You guys have seen my Twitter. On my Twitter, I literally write, that fat bitch that triggers you. When I tell you the amount of right-wing people that phrase has pissed off, it's delicious. Delicious. And it's like, when I tell you, I can't. I forget, it was very recent. Literally, I had to keep telling them, I wrote that ironically. I wrote it to make fun of the fat bitches. It just so happens you're all as easily triggered as the fat bitches. It's
They don't
true.
understand irony.
Huh?
They don't understand irony.
No, they don't. Oh, especially the red pill guys. Oh, I gotta go deal with my 6 kids and 9 baby dads. It was
So
one
did you
that
lose
was,
Frank?
I mean, I picked him up.
Oh.
Check takes off my hands for a while, but it's just like I'm getting really tired of the woke right, and those are the people. The woke right are the people that I don't iron anything.
Oh, punk wall.
They're the people that the liberals claim we are, and they're getting louder and louder, and it makes me very mad because we didn't have them for so long. The discussion reminds me of the SpongeBob, where Patrick and SpongeBob are having a snowball fight, trying to get Squidward on their respective side. You piss off the left. I do. I've always said there is one true talent I have. It is my true north. I have
The ability to make everybody equally unhappy.
Exactly. I have the ability to piss off everybody without even trying. As a matter of fact, the harder I try to do the right thing, I piss off more people. It's true. And yes, I very much am. He has a song, I Hate You. Love it. Oh, I love it. Yeah, and you have to listen to it. You've got to listen to it. A lot of his newer songs have been really good. The last 2 I haven't. I listened to one of them. It was silly. It was cute. And the one that just came out with his girlfriend, I haven't heard it yet. But I tend to make everyone mad. Best friends, family, get in line, darling. The only one I truly haven't pissed off is my husband.
I don't think you've really pissed me off yet.
True.
But then again, if you piss me off, you've probably done something seriously bad. You should probably run.
I was gonna say, you don't get mad though, so like, it's really hard to piss you off to begin with.
Yeah.
And you and I are too similar in a lot of the ways that we think. We're too logistical. And when we have a problem, we go to each other and say it straight out. So I don't think it's going to be really possible for us.
If one of us does something severely bad and the other one refuses to admit it, then we will get mad at each other.
Right. But again,
it'll cause enormous fireworks.
I think you and I have too much pride to not admit. I think we have reverse pride where we can't. It would eat us up that we were cowards.
I think that depends. I think if we were completely convinced we were entirely right and the other person was just being stupid, I think it would work. But we'd have to, I don't know what that subject would
How to be mental gymnastics of the most impressive kind.
I mean, it could just be, I don't know. I do not deny a situation always happen. You know, possibility for a situation always exists.
Exactly. That's why I said it's going to be very hard to do. Not impossible. And I'm not exactly looking to try. Don't want to associate with these. I don't. I hate that. Star, when we bring it back, girl, do you not see how? Oh,
hi, Jack.
Good seeing you, Jack. I promise, guys. And I know Christian asked. I am what?
Little Fox. Unfortunately, he seems to have nailed my superpower on the head.
Let me tell you something. If there is one thing this bitch said more than anything while I was there, it was, okay. More than anything else, it was, okay.
All right.
The definition of I don't give a fuck.
If you say so. All right.
I firmly believe horror's mission in life is to take the wind out of your sails. And do it in the most polite way possible. Like, she doesn't mean anything by it. It's just, okay.
If that's what you want.
Bam. Like,
people do not understand my absolute inability to actually have any yeah that actually happened. He should go off on this long thing and I'm sitting here
Yep. I'm pretty sure we had several of that on the road trip. That was the one thing I did that I'm pretty sure after like the 30th time I did it, he was like, shut up about it. I kept going, plesiosaurus, mosasaur, because we were driving through the golden field. And I think you guys have to understand something. There is nothing but golden fields
and mountains
for hours. And most people, she said, get very bored with it. But I think we all know. That's not me.
The only time I genuinely started getting irritated is when you kept leaning out the window with your phone, and I'm like, if this bitch rolls the window down one more time, I'm just gonna pop the door open and watch her roll down the road.
I was literally like this. We're going 85, and I roll down the window, and I'm like, click, 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 and I just see her side-eyeing me. The definition of don't give a fuck on my end is, though, I will get the photo. Like, it's gonna happen. Delfino Gonzalez, hello. It's been a while since I tuned in. It's been a while since we tuned in. What were you saying? Girl, it was too much. By the way, sorry you never did the road trip video. We weren't able to do, like, we had no service for, like, how many miles? And my phone wasn't charging. Ask her. No
Yeah.
matter what we did, my phone wouldn't charge. And she needed hers just so we could find where we were going. So we weren't able to record anything. It was, we're going to do a better one the next time. We're already planning another one. Might not be for another year because money, but we will. Oh no, Star's unirritating aura has breached horror stomach shield. It's super effective. You have to understand something, guys. It wasn't like a 1 hour drive. We're talking this was like a 5 hour drive.
Which time? Actually, they were all about 3 hours from.
Not the Golden Hills one.
No, that was 3 hours.
That was only 3. It felt longer.
Yeah, it does feel like a long time.
It was it was a lot of the same.
Yeah, well, that's why I like driving through the mountains better than driving through the fields, because the mountains, it's always twisty turny. The fields are always really kind of straight, and yeah, there's an up and down to it, but it's very samey.
Trying to find my damn comma. Now that you're not talking, I can just say it. I am not sure right now, honestly, Faye Queen. I have been so busy. I barely had time to do this. I've got to restructure everything. I technically have 3 jobs again. 4, if you count the other restaurant I'm going to be doing social media for. So it's just been hard. I think Stars had a short attention span. Me? Never. But it's just been Stars the yapper and Horror's the listener. And she can yap too. You just got to find the right subject. That's the thing. If you get her on the right subject, she don't shut up either. It's just you got to get her on the right subject. That's the main thing. Just clone yourself. We'd never get anything done. Myself, and I would get 3 things done immaculately, and then we'd have way too many conversations about everything else.
And they'd never get back to those 3 things ever again.
Ever. But I'll tell you what, the time we got them done, sparkling, darling, sparkling. Without fail. But no, it's just, whatchamacallit. I had a blast, though. I will tell you, that whole week was wonderful for me. I saw 2 friends. I went to the other side of the country. And you yap about literally anything. We've witnessed this. It's very true.
It's very true.
It's very true. So there's one thing about me that people don't believe, but I think even she realized I actually do have the ability to sit there and do absolutely nothing, and I find it very comforting.
Just take a piece of sleep.
And I'll often just veg out, or I'll stare at shit, or I can just sit there and quietly be on my own. And we were able to do that quite a bit on the trip, but then we'd also talk because we're friends. And it was bonding time. I actually don't have the urge to talk and the enjoyment of talking. What I do is I never want someone to think I am ignoring them or disrespecting them. And so it is, I believe, a form of my anxiety where I feel like if I'm sitting there quiet, I'm being disrespectful to someone. Now, I'm not quite sure where it stemmed from, but I always end up trying to fill in the space, especially if someone seems to be uncomfortable, as I don't want them to feel uncomfortable. And that's something that I will very much do. Because, I don't like the idea if I'm driving you somewhere and you treat me like a chauffeur, where you don't want to talk, you don't want me to play my music, you want to sit and veg on your phone or in a book like I don't exist. I would find that very disrespectful. So I don't want to do that to someone else. And I am very much in that. And so where I work half the week, I don't got to talk to nobody unless a customer comes in. So I spend that whole day silent, and it's great. And that's why I love at home, because I don't got to talk here. Starman usually will make me talk. I'll be sitting there quiet or reading, and he's usually the one talking. So it's a very different thing. But when I'm at work, I feel like I have to. I feel like I'm required to. And the worst part of it is I'm very good at it. That's the problem. I am very good at talking. I always have been. I've been very good at making conversation, and especially since I got into sales, I got really good at it. It kind of sucks.
No, I've always been more of the if you want to talk, we'll talk. Otherwise, I'm just fine being quiet.
It was a new experience for me.
Yeah, I'm very practiced at not saying a single.
Like, I think I asked you permission if I could nap.
Yeah.
A couple of times.
Which made no sense to me, but I'm like, okay, yeah, go ahead. I'm driving. I was driving. It's not like I have a lot of choice on what you do. Bless you.
Excuse me, thank you. I feel I used to feel the same way, but after getting snapped at several times through my life, I've learned to practice what Miss Horror does, not give a fuck, and being silent as a tree. Well, in my line of work, you don't really get that opportunity. Wait, what's going on? I'm gonna dip it. Oh, good night, Faye Queen.
Night, Faye.
Sometimes I'm quiet, sometimes I'm not. Depends on my mood. Damn, my yappy ass will have a whole ass conversation with myself. See, I have no problem talking in here.
Sheep will do that.
Like, I don't say it out loud, but I will absolutely talk with myself. Funny fact. So the first night after this happened again, this was Wednesday night. I woke up literally, we went to bed at 10:30. Every hour I woke up to use the facilities. Halfway through the night, I was so delirious, I genuinely had a conversation with myself. It has something to do with water. And the problem was I out loud responded to myself.
Oh, I do that all the time.
Well, no, this was different. This was like when you talk to yourself, but it's like, you're having fun. No, this was, I got to answer myself back. Shit, I left myself hanging. Like, I genuinely thought there was another me in the room. Like, it was bad. Starts on yaps in her head, go figure, right? I will, honey. I'll check it tonight at some point. Emo is afraid to speak. That's why her mic is always broke. Oh, that's right. You guys all talk on my Discord all the time. Let me tell you something.
Apparently.
Huh?
Except for Emo, apparently.
Emo tries. I'll tell you what, my Discord runs itself. It's a very good little monster all on its own. Excuses. I'll tell you who's a yapper. This one. Her and Hunty. Yappers. Very good at it too. But no, I felt bad because there was a lot of things that Horror and I did want to do and we just weren't able to. And although I felt I did pretty good considering what we had for the cannolis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the filling was good.
Did you get to eat the rest of it?
No.
Yeah, I figured.
We're very bad at being fat in this house. Despite the fact we are fat in this house, we're very bad at being fat in this house.
I was going to say, the worst thing is they've got all the ingredients in the house, but they don't use them. I know because I witnessed it. Also, beautiful kitchen. Starts on having a conversation with the house. Staring in confusion as an intestine. Well, no, they never know. See, that's the thing.
Poor sheep. He gets dropped into the middle of my mental conversation sometimes. I will just ask him something that is halfway through the conversation. I'll look at him and I'll say something, and he'll look at me like, what the fuck was that about? And then I have to explain the whole conversation I just had with myself to him so he's caught up to where we are now.
I need to see that next time. I need to see that. No, let me tell you.
Stick around long enough, it'll happen to you.
It's true. I will sit there. And this is what normally happens with Starman. I'll be like, and he'll go, what's wrong? Nothing, I'm thinking. And the problem is because, so I don't know if it's an artist thing. I have heard it's an artist thing. I will make the emotions on my face that I'm drawing. And I notice sometimes, depending on how comfortable I am, I will also make the emotions I'm thinking on the face. Or sometimes I do this deep concert. I think even you asked me at one point when we were together, "What, are you okay? Shut up, I'm thinking."
That's usually what's up. Is what I say when I see someone with that kind of expression on
Right.
their face, because I know they got something going on in their head, and it's like, they're ready to share, or am I waiting?
It's usually, and sometimes it's something really simple like, I wonder if Tiki Cat is gonna have a buffalo flavor. Like when I'm talking, I could have the most serious, angry face overthinking about a tuna can.
I have resting bitch face when I'm concentrating. I've had people walk in the room and just turn around and walk back out because I'm doing my thing and I'm focused, and it just scares people.
She is just a very stoic woman, but I appreciate it.
I've come to the conclusion that's why I scare people.
Because you're stoic?
They don't know what I'm thinking.
You're just daydreaming. Daydreaming is bad. Daydreaming is really bad. Although I found my niece, I do believe I found the family connection with me and her. She has a habit of staring at lights. I have been known to stare at a shiny object or two. And I definitely am getting her something lit up for Christmas.
Oh,
She gets something sparkly.
should make it make noise too to bother your brother.
See, that's the thing. It wouldn't be Philip that would be bothered. It would be Julie.
Hey, one thing about your family having kids and stuff is getting them toys that you know the kid will just irritate the shit out of them.
Oh, no, see, I'm going to get her things that set stuff on fire. I'm going to get her things that build, because I'm going to make sure she's just like him. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, my brother, and you have to realize this was back in the 80s, when VCRs were upwards of $1,000. Then he rewired the cable and VCR. And if you don't know how they worked, the doors to a VCR flapped inward like this. Okay?
If you had a new one, yeah.
If you had the new one back in that day.
Back then, before they actually pushed down.
He shoved all his toy cars into it and then pried the doors shut again. And my dad had to, one by one, after taking apart the whole entire VCR, pull them all out. My brother took the strongest, thinnest Phillips head screwdriver he could find and carved his initials into every piece of wood in the house.
Nice. You sure, Moon? Okay.
Well, I know that I can, but I already got when I was 5.
I'll be honest. I'm not sure it's great to be tested necessarily. I mean, on one hand, it's good to know what your issues are. On the other hand, a lot of times people end up relying on it too much as an excuse. A lot of times it's much better to sit down and make an inventory of what you consider your issues and interacting with other people, and then see what you can do to fix it.
You know exactly
adapt.
what you thought about.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I was aware that would pop in your head as I was speaking.
Getting flashbacks to green corn. Anyways, that disregard. But anyways, no, I just what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So my brother was the kind of kid, he would take paper towels, light them and toss them in the air to see the ash hit the ground. He was the kind of kid, I caught him. I came home one day from school and I heard this whacking sound. And I walk into the kitchen and he is up on the counter. He's standing on the counter with one of the flat top pot lids of my mother's. And he's got it like a Roman shield. And he is hacking physically hacking at the cabinets. And there is little check marks all down this cabinet. There is sawdust all over the counter. I'm watching him do this. Yes. He turns, looks at me, jumps down, tosses the pot lid on the counter and says, "Don't say a fucking word to mom and dad." You're right. They'll never notice if I... 2 hours later, my parents come home. "Philip! What you told?" "Oh, yeah. Must have been me."
They never figured it out on their own.
Mystery solved. It was my brother peeled apart every Barbie I had. And
I
I
did that
mean,
myself.
peeled apart. He pulled all the hair out. Normal kid stuff. He chewed all the hands off. And if you had the Barbies, you know what I'm talking about. Kids to the darkness. He was the older one, guys.
So me and my best friend, we once took all my Barbies. We took all of their heads off, all of their arms off, all of their legs off, and we lined them up. All the heads in one row, all the arms in another row, all the bodies in another row, all the legs in another row. My mother was just a little disturbed that day.
Future serial killers. Star stitching without uttering a word. Bro. The torsos just... Now, if you had them, you might remember which Barbies I'm talking about. Remember the Barbies where the legs clicked?
Yeah.
It had that rubber coating over it so you couldn't see the bend?
Mm-hmm.
I loved those dolls. He
I
peeled
really
the
hated
skin
getting the
off.
legs off.
It's what reminded me of this contract where he came first to Dennis the Menace and started cutting up his mom's furniture just because he felt like it. Yeah, my brother chewed up my grandma's Cadillac that way. So she had all leather seats. He physically, with his teeth, peeled all the back of the leather seats off. He chewed it. He, what else did he do? My mom and dad's entire wedding set of dishes are gone because of him. He broke all of them. He used to shove Play-Doh up the dog's nose. And Rocky would just sit there and let him do it. He would stand at the end of the hallway and go, "Rocky, Rocky." And as Rocky just would get to the door, he'd slam it shut. The dog would slam his head into the door because he wanted to see if the dog would keep doing it. We used to play Commando and what that would, or Alien Attack. And what these would include is essentially stealing our cats into sacks and running around the house with them. Like they were...
Love you, Mama.
Poor Mama Rada.
Putting those legs back on, I'm like, and those are hell.
Was this before or after Toy Story?
This was long before Toy Story. This was in the 80s.
Oh, God. I would have seen that movie and felt so guilty. Like, I would have just felt guilt. Who the hell put them back together? God. Now, let me tell you. So my brother was a creative soul. And all I want to do is grant his daughter the same creativity. So
I genuinely believe people get the kids they deserve.
she's a beautiful baby, and she's so well behaved. So
For
I'm
now.
all mad.
She's still small. She can't quite get a lot. Wait until she gets bigger. They all seem really innocent and sweet when they're, still just crawling around and their motor skills haven't set in and they're not really walking. As soon as they get up on their legs and they can reach shit, it all goes to hell.
This is not that far off. He did this with a table in the backyard. My brother would like to see how things ticked. So, you said it funny. That was my brother. She'd be like, "What are you doing?" And he'd be like, "I just wanted to see if it would happen." What'd you think would happen when you set it on fire? What'd you think would happen when you sawed it in half? What'd you think would happen when you hacked at the tree? He just And that's how I know the difference, by the way. When people try to tell me ADHD, attention deficit disorder, none of you know what that means. Not really.
I'm sure some of them do.
You know what I mean. A lot of the kids today that are called ADHD, they're not. They're just kids that are either not disciplined properly or were not given any direction, which most
They're understimulated. Ironically, they're both overstimulated. They're simultaneously overstimulated and understimulated.
They were given too much technological stimulation and not enough technical stimulation. They were not given enough things where it was tactical and they could mold their hands into it. And that was something that helped my brother. Video games did help him. They were prescribed by doctors because his brain was so fast. The problem was they didn't tell her anything else could help it. And so there's a lot of kids when they get this digital addiction. That's really bad. And we've already talked about it as a family. They don't want her getting anything digital for as long as possible. Auntie Cassie's all for it. But that's my point, Esteban. Most kids today that get diagnosed, they're not. It's not what it is. I got my shirt. I set my shirt on fire because I wanted to see how it would take away flame before it caught on fire. I have a scar on my belly. Yep. See?
Makes sense.
Metastep does understand. He does.
I don't have any lingering scars, but I mean, I did once melt plastic to myself.
Well, my brother, a lot of the really destructive stuff he did to me, like he thought he could cool me down by shaving off my hair. So he did it when I was an infant. He thought he could teach me how to do the dead man's float by dragging me around face down in the pool. So he nearly drowned me. Just stuff like that. And, but I will say he's mellowed out quite a bit. Now he's scared of, HVAC systems. And now that he's got all this electricity and metal to mess with, he's really not all that concerned with anything else. So it works out for me. Oh, and did he love wrestling? Ask me how I know.
I'm gonna guess he pile drived you a couple times.
I wish. You know what a crucifixion hold is? I know it on a very personal level. You know what the Mr. Sacco is?
No, I haven't seen that one.
My brother, when he was in high school, seemed like warning signs for a psychopath.
I mean, they are. If you're not careful, they can be. They can absolutely turn into that.
She's not wrong. I didn't go when I was a kid. I got diagnosed as an adult. No, Philip got diagnosed. He got diagnosed at 3 or 4. I got diagnosed at 5. But I got diagnosed because of him. I was a different level. My brain works incredibly fast, and sometimes too fast. Because, I don't know if it happened enough when you and I were hanging out. And yes, he did that to me on a regular basis. He's the reason I'm afraid of feet. Because he would take the sock, Metastep, he would do it on the socks he wore all day in high school.
I'm really glad I was the older sibling.
The older sibling is always the cruel one.
I didn't do shit. Well, no, that's why. I didn't do a lot.
Didn't even finish the sentence, older sibling.
Hey. I didn't do nearly as much to him as he did to me.
Do tell.
My mother once had to pry my brother's jaws off my naked ass.
Oh, that's different. I threw a screwdriver at his head and a rock and a block of ice.
And he pinned me against the TV with a butcher knife when he was 2.
Now that's different. How do you get the damn knife?
I don't know the answer to that question. I was 4. No, I was 6. So I'm not entirely sure how he got it. I just know he had it. Of course, then there was the time he chased me out of the house with a knife for stealing his chips. Granted, I did, for one, steal his chips, but he let me back in once I promised not to hit him. And at that point, we weren't going to tell mom and dad, but then someone said somebody else kicked somebody or hit somebody, and the other person's like, "Nah, you kicked me." And then before you know it, the whole thing about the knife is out.
So my mom and dad came home to Philip trying to break down their bedroom door because I had scared him awake with a knife.
Nice.
So, very normal sibling things. No, he took it fresh out of the shoe. I felt like that was worse.
It depends on where he would have kept it in his pants. I mean, if they were down under that would be worse.
Teenage boy in an all-boys high school. No matter what, it was going to be disgusting.
That's true.
Anytime I see the caring motherly older siblings, my reaction is lies. Those siblings, I know they exist because I have friends who are that sibling. It's got to be at least a 10-year plus gap. That's the only way it works. It's the only way it works. Because
I can say 4 to 5 years is not enough.
No, 3 is especially not enough. Because then you don't get that loving sibling. You almost never really get it, but you don't get the ability to like each other enough till you're well into your 20s. At least. And especially if it's the boy that's older. Sorry, not sorry, it's the truth. If the girl is the older one, it can happen sooner. I didn't say will, I said can.
I say as the older sibling.
Family might be overrated. Depends. If your family is shit, that's different. It all depends on the family. If you like your family, because the thing is, at the end of the day, my brother, I like him. He's a pain in my ass, but I enjoy being around him. So I like and love my brother. Doesn't stop. He and Brandon, I think I've told this story, but if I haven't, I'm going to. He and Brandon came into my freaking job. I was working at Taco Bell. It was a KFC Taco Bell. They came in with a blow-up sex doll, but it was a sheep. And they kept making it ba. Take a guess where his hand had to be for it to keep buying.
Well, I guess up his ass.
Yeah. And this thing had big, big red lips and giant fake eyelashes and a big bow on its head. And they walked in rush hour with this. When I came home, now at the time, we had no doors, as I told you guys. We had no doors on the bedrooms because they had been taken when we were kids. They got rotten in the basement. And because this was a very old house built in the 40s, it was difficult to get another door. And we weren't spending hundreds of dollars to get custom doors made again. We just had curtains instead. As I'm walking up to my curtain, it is very strangely floating because they wanted me to slam my face into a side of plaster that they hammered to my doorway. The entire top where my face would be was a thing of what's that stuff they use for walls?
Drywall?
Drywall. The thing of drywall. And they were like, oh, she noticed. Yeah, the giant square in my curtain wasn't the giveaway. The only reason that they did that is because they didn't want to buy the tarantula they were going to leave in my room. They were sitting there one night. Brandon wanted to braid my hair. Cool. We're all sitting in the living room. He wanted to braid my hair. Now, at the time, I had 3.5 feet of hair. Philip and Brandon were talking about something. And I'm noticing my hair is starting to feel a little too tight for a braid. And I went to turn and look, and my head stopped. They had tied my hair around the table. And I'm talking knots. This was my best friend. Okay? So.
It's the interesting way she uses the word friend.
Well, I also call him my brother. We were 25 years, but he was still a little shit. The two of them together were dangerous. They were always so bad. And so it was like, just little shits, all of them. So I don't know if that ever happened to you, but I still can feel that damn knot in my hair.
I did once actually frame my brother for cutting my bangs.
Do tell.
Oh, I was really young. I just, and then I and then I went to mom, or well, no, I woke up and the next day, and mom asked what happened, and I told her I just woke up and it was all around, and I don't know.
That's not right. That's not right. How much trouble did he get in?
He wasn't that old. He didn't get in a whole ton of trouble. He was fine.
Oh, he was 5 or he was fine?
He was fine. He was probably 4.
See, Philip did something similar to me. So, and I feel guilty about it. This is over 30 years ago. I still feel guilty about it. So my dad had gotten this gift from his mom, and it was a music box. It was all porcelain, and it was I can only describe it as an Asian woman. She was very delicate, and she was dancing, and it was all white and gold, and she had flowing robes, and it was very pretty. And my dad had it up on a shelf over the toilet. And it just, it was really pretty. And I was all of 5 years old. And Philip had, remember those big koosh balls?
Mm-hmm.
You could pull the rubber back. I can still smell that damn koosh. And you can rocket it. And I have very good aim. And Philip took me into the bathroom. We're sitting on the floor, and he goes, I bet you can't hit that lady. And I was like, won't I get in trouble? He went, no. Go ahead. Try. I didn't even need a second shot. I sat there. I took aim. I hit that bitch square in the face. And it started wobbling. And as it wobbles, it plummets and shatters to the floor. And as my dad walks in, devastated, Philip goes, Cassandra did it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is, I'm a goody two-shoes. So my dad immediately was like, tell the truth. And I, through tears, told him it was Philip. He told me to do it. He said it wouldn't hurt it. He said I wouldn't. I didn't get in trouble. He did, though. I was very easily influenced back then. Very easily. I mean, we went to SeaWorld. He nearly got us kicked out. Do you want to know why?
Why?
You know the stingray pool?
Mm.
He wanted to take one home. He climbed into the pool while Dad was trying to show me and tried to pull a 4-foot round stingray out by the tail. He had it by the tail and was dragging it out.
They weren't impressed, I'm imagining.
SeaWorld wasn't. I'll tell you what. SeaWorld was not pleased. He was a bad boy, yes. I never had to worry about getting in trouble as a little kid. Because
Hey, Silver.
Hi, Silvar. You know when everyone's like, well, why are you someone who doesn't like to break rules and things like that? Because I watched in real time the criminal in my house. And I was like, I don't wanna. I just
Probably isn't the best idea.
it never dawned on me to try to take it. Oh my God. Hi, Rachel, by the way. And I'm gonna take a little honey before I go to bed. I promise. We're not gonna stay on too much longer anyway, because I do have work tomorrow.
I was gonna say we should probably just about wrap it up. I still gotta record a video.
She does. On that channel where we're at. What are we at right now?
We are at 4,525.
So we are less than 500.
Mm. away from 5,000. I don't know how this happened.
I did. It's called talent. Shut the fuck up. You, ew, how dare you? What are you, 16? Rolling your eyes at me.
That wasn't rolling my eyes. That was just doubt. Hey, Michael.
Hi, Mitchell.
Oh, Mitchell. I don't know why my brain even read that, Michael.
I was damn good at Philip did not care. Philip did not care. This is just an eighth of the stories about my brother. My brother was... My mom literally said I was boring as a kid. And I think the only reason I was boring is because my brother was just so not.
Ironically, I was the boring child, despite being the oldest.
I was very simple. My mother said I got put in the corner because I was good. I would get snacks and juice, and I could sit there and do nothing. And all I do is sit there and stare at the wall and daydream. She'd watch Days of Our Lives, and I'd sit there and just smile and sip on my juice. I was a happy camper. You roll your eyes too. I do not. What would you ever say that for? I am not the remotely bit petty or anything, but I will start off tonight because my news is not as important as hers, and I want to make sure she gets all her stuff out. For me, shut up. And for me, as you guys know, my channel's been a little quiet. So with the new structure, just to lay out a brief plan, Thursdays are the plan for new videos. And I'm going to be pushing the art streams possibly to Wednesdays. So that way, sure, shut up, Mitchell. So, I am going to be trying to push those to Wednesdays. So that way I have a dedicated day just to social media stuff. And I'm going to try to do recordings on Mondays and try to give myself a designated day off. I was told I was a drama queen, but looking back, I probably just didn't take any shit. I just like dancing and ponies. I was me as a kid. Stick on Black Beauty, My Friend Flicka, My Little Pony, anything Disney. I was glued. I was thrilled. I was a happy kid. All I heard was more streams. Yes. And I do still have a job that I have to go to. I have 2 of them now. Well, I'm going to tomorrow. So just, that's what the plan is right now, guys. And the channel shift is going to be something more towards, essentially, I'm going to try to find a twist on it. But it's going to be me finding the drama in something, but a real something. Like, for instance, what we were talking about today. One of my stories is going to be about emotional support animals and service animals. That video is going to be a part of it. I am also planning on talking about plastic surgery and toxic fandoms and things like that. And we all know the topic of fan fiction is going to come into it and things like that. So keep an eye out.
Yay.
You know me, I just never talk about fan fiction, so I think it'd be a great topic to explore. But that leaves off our darling.
No, I really don't have a lot, so I have no idea what she's talking about. There's one video or 6 days a week on the Abysmal Critic channel. It's centering around video game news. Basically, whatever article or tweet I've found that I want to talk about that evening, because let's face it, by the time I'm recording it, it's probably about 1 a.m. By the time I'm putting it out, it's probably about 4 a.m. That's and then it uploads at 10 a.m. So you know that's my general workflow going on there. And then on Saturdays I stream on this channel doing 7 Days to Die. We have a D&D stream, but it's not coming back until November, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do on my Sundays right now. But yeah, I mean, that's about it.
Yeah, that was just like nothing. Shut up.
And I mean, that's just my regular schedule. There's no announcements.
That's an announcement, babe.
How is the schedule an announcement?
Because it's the schedule to announce. I'm gonna keep gaslighting this bitch to understand how good she's doing until she finally admits it. Might take me a couple of years. We're gonna get there.
She's probably gonna die first. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm too cute to die. Anyways, listen, that's my sexy face. I reserve it for sexy moments. Thank you. There will be other government. You don't have to do that, Rachel, but thank you. And Step, like I said, maybe there's a lot of things I want to explore. If you guys, I am actually looking one last thing. If you personally have anyone you know that trains or knows service dogs and they are willing to be interviewed, my email is, I can type it out.
I'm a bitch at. No.
Shut up, I'm trying to type. Don't make me laugh and think I might fart. Stop it.
Just gonna laugh, think, and fart all at the same time.
I might lose the thought.
You should fart it right out. Hey,
Go
Frank.
And if you know anyone that has gone under the knife, that was disgusting. Anyways, if you know anyone that has gone under the knife or has regretted plastic surgery or knows a lot about plastic surgery, send them my email. So that way they know. I'm fine. I was dying for a minute. I mean, some bitch I know, right? But yes, if you take brain parts to the extreme. Anyways, if you know anyone like that, let us know. Send me an email. Send them my email. I would like to have them for the videos. Otherwise, the Sydney! Sydney, I miss that little black boy.
Say hi. You big boy.
So Blair White.
18 pounds.
Blair would never
fat.
be Blossom. Blossom needs the plastic surgery. That's someone that requires it. But should I pack up some copes? No, honey. This is a sinus infection.
Bless you.
Thank you. Due to marijuana exposure. That's the problem. That back scratcher is a wand at this point. And I must say, both Grace and Sydney loved me, and so did Alex. Thank you. Alex was my bedmate. Thank you. Thank you. I've got a whole video of him just talking to me for
Alex, oh yeah, he'll talk for fucking hours. That cat doesn't shut up.
I loved it. It was so cute. See, now I said I don't like to talk, but if an animal talks to me, we chat for hours. But anyways, Bonnuit, do pay attention to us more often. Now, I promise. I'm sorry, guys. It's just been a lot. Thank you, Moon. I will feel better. Within another 2 days, my voice will be back to normal. It always hits this phase, and then it goes right back to yay. But that is all for today, guys. Thank you for joining us. Remember to get your animals properly vaccinated, microchipped, spayed and neutered. Remember to tell people that are important to you that you love them and to be safe. So, Horror.
Yes.
I love you.
I love you too.
Be safe.
I will.
Have a great day, everybody, because I'm not doing whatever the fuck this the kids do. I love you guys. Oh, I may have adopted a couple. Well, you're going to tell me about that next time, ma'am. But
Bye.
all have a good night. Goodbye.